Hi, my name is Giti Karakia, and my persuasive speech is on why financial literacy should be a required class in every high school. So, according to a 2026 study by the Consumer Finance Bureau Board, nearly 65% of college students say that they struggle managing their finances. Yet 95% of students leave high school without ever taking a financial literacy course. So think about that for a moment. We spend years learning subjects like algebra, biology, literature, but many students graduate without ever learning how to budget, understand credit cards, file taxes, or even manage debt. And as a lot of us are college students and a good amount of us are soon to be independent adults, we will all end up making financial decisions about anything from credit cards, student loans, renting apartments, and managing our own personal income. And one single poor financial decision can affect our finances for years. And the consequences for that can follow us well into adulthood. So today I want to persuade you that financial literacy should be required high school graduation requirement because too many students are entering adulthood unprepared to manage their finances. Financial education can provide essential life skills and it can lead to a much more financially secure future. First, I'll explain why this is a problem. After, I'll discuss a practical solution. And finally, I'll help us imagine what our future could look like if every student received a financial education. So first, let's examine why the lack of financial education has become such a serious problem. So the first problem is that many young adults just simply lack the essential financial knowledge. Students often graduate schools without understanding basic concepts like budgeting, taxes, interest rates, and credit loans. And while these aren't advanced financial topics, they're everyday life skills. Yet so many students, including me, have left high school without ever being taught how to create a budget, compare loan options, or understand what happens when they only make minimum payment on things like a credit card. And because they haven't learned these skills, many young adults end up accumulating unnecessary debt simply because they were just never taught basic money management. And instead of making informed decisions, they're forced to learn through trial and error, and those errors can become very expensive. The second problem is that poor financial decisions can have long-term consequences. For example, high interest credit card debt can take years to repay, and someone who only makes minimum payments on that credit card may end up paying far more interest than the money that they originally borrowed. In addition, things like poor financial habits can lead to lower credit scores, and that can end up making it more difficult to qualify for things like student loans, trying to buy a car, rent an apartment, or even qualify for like certain jobs in like the financial insurance industry. And a 2025 article in the Washington Post by Ann Rosen showed how personalized finance education has been expanding lately across the nation because many students are graduating without the financial knowledge needed to navigate adulthood. And schools and programs are realizing this, and because of that, they are installing these programs. But still, there's not enough students receiving the education they need before graduation. But fortunately, there is a very simple, practical solution that can prepare these students before they face these challenges in the real world. And the solution is straightforward. It's requiring every student to complete a financial literacy course before graduating from high school. So a required personal finance course will teach students how to budget, save money, invest, file taxes, understand insurance, and borrow responsibly. And these are just practical skills that every adult uses regardless of the career choice. Whether someone's trying to become a doctor, a teacher, engineer, go into business, everyone needs to know how to manage money responsibly. And financial literacy education doesn't just provide that information, it can change the behavior. So students who receive personal finance instruction are typically the ones who are more likely to end up creating that budget, saving money, and avoiding that excessive debt. And instead of learning financial lessons through costly mistakes, they gain that confidence to make informed decisions well before those mistakes happen. And learning these concepts early help them handle unexpected expenses, plan for major purchases, and achieve those long-term financial goals that they're hoping to get. And like we looked at before, the 2026 study by the CFP board showed 65% of Gen Z college students say that they want more financial education, which are showing that students are recognizing the importance of learning these essential life skills before entering adulthood. So now let's picture what our future could look like if every student received this education. So first, we need to imagine ourselves where we're in the future, where financial literacy is required in every high school. We would see more young adults graduating prepared to manage that money responsibly instead of feeling overwhelmed by budgeting, credit cards, taxes, or student loans. And graduates would have that knowledge and confidence just to make those smart financial decisions from day one. And this wouldn't just benefit individuals, it would benefit entire communities. We would see things like lower debt levels, stronger financial stability, and better financial planning could improve families' financial security and strengthen local economies. And now we have to imagine the opposite. If schools continue graduating students without financial literacy, many students will continue entering adulthood without understanding major financial responsibilities, will continue making avoidable mistakes, and not know how to manage their money effectively. And those mistakes can end up leading to those debt, financial stress, poor credit, and fewer opportunities later in life, which are bad. And according to a March 2026 article by the Wall Street Journal, 39 states now require a personal finance course for high school graduation. And this reflects a growing recognition that students need those practical financial skills before entering adulthood. As more states adopt these requirements, more students will have the opportunity to enter adulthood prepared instead of overwhelmed. And now that we've seen both futures, what can we do as society, as people? So we can start by things like encouraging local schools and policymakers to expand personal finance education, supporting those graduation requirements, taking advantage of those resources whenever possible, because the more you know about managing money, the better prepared you'll be for the future. And we've discussed today how financial literacy is more than just an elective that the student needs to take. It's a simple life skill that every student needs to learn. So I'll leave you with a quote from Benjamin Franklin, which is, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And by making financial literacy a graduation requirement, we can ensure that students leave high school prepared, not only to earn money, but also to manage it wisely. Thank you.